Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's super special event. I can't even express how excited I am. I mean, first of all, how could I not be excited with all these smiling faces on screen? Super awesome people that you guys are just about to get to know all over again because today is our first ever Be a Friend Friday reunion. Yes, class. So my name is Dana Najib. I'm the social media manager here at the ADA. I have had the absolute honor and privilege of getting to know these fabulous people on screen throughout our series, Be a Friend Friday, which all started at the peak of the COVID-19 pandemic, when everybody was feeling super alone, super anxious and scared and in need of companionship and friendship and community. And these brave, incredible, inspiring people came to the forefront and told their story and wanted to inspire everybody in the community. So today we honor friendship because it is also National Day of Friendship. So if you are with your friend, if you're thinking of a friend, we hope that you take today to phone a friend and let them know how much you love them. Life truly is short and friendship means everything. So I'd also like to introduce my teammate, Sarah, who's had quite an inspiring journey with diabetes as well. But Sarah, please introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Sarah Nunez. I recently changed my name. I was Sarah Snow, and I got married on June 25th. And my husband has been diagnosed with type 2 as a result of COVID. So that happened only about 2 months ago. So it's had perfect timing. I just started this position here as partner in crime to Dana and social media and digital events manager here at the American Diabetes Association. And this is my first Be a Friend Friday. So I'm really excited to be a part of it.
Awesome. So we're going to jump right in and get to know the stars of the show, our new friends. Cue the clip.
Hi, my name is Randall, and I have been a type 1 for over 30 years.
Hello, I'm Patricia Welcher, and I've been a type 1 diabetic for over 50 years.
Hi, my name is Natalie. I've lived with type 1 diabetes for 31 years now.
And what does it mean to be a friend to me? It means acceptance, kindness, and understanding.
Friendship to me is being accountable, devoted, and understanding.
Friendship means to me support, connection, and of course, a little fun.
Hi, I'm Heather. And while I love to run through the woods all by myself, where would I be without friends? Friendship to me is mutual trust and respect, compassion, and maybe a little craziness thrown in just for fun.
Hi, this is Elizabeth, and Be a Friend Friday is one of the most amazing things that I have ever done. I have been a type 1 for 26 years, and my favorite thing is I'm a best friend. So I will cook for somebody, I will bring them food, but also I have an incredible family, friends and family, and I just love life. I'm super excited, and congrats on Be a Friend Friday.
Hi, my name is Aubrey, and I have type 1 diabetes, and I had it for 4 years. What friendship means to me is being kind and nice, helpful, and thankful, and being who you are.
Hi there, my name is Hannah, and I've lived with type 1 for almost 6 years now. My anniversary is coming up. And to me, friendship definitely means community, compassion, and lastly, I would say for sure love.
I'm Sydney Williams, and I've lived with type 2 diabetes for almost 4 years, and when I think about friendship, it comes down to 3 terms for me: empathy, trust, and adventure.
I try not to focus on the bad, but rather yet the good, that this, you can do this. This is not yes, it's an invisible condition that many people may not see, but she is able to conquer it by just doing maybe a little bit more extra. And I know that she has the strength to do that because of these support systems that we've built in.
Talking about community, what was really helpful for me is community support with my friends and family. I wasn't really closed before about sharing my challenges with other people, but I was kind of forced to actually eventually open up to really heal myself through eye challenges.
Like, okay, there's a community on here that I can be a part of, and then I can actually help further. I never knew that there was a space on social media dedicated to people living with diabetes, and obviously other niches as well that I enjoy and that I love. But especially with diabetes, I didn't know that this existed. So when I found it, I was like, holy grail, like
my people.
Yeah, my people. I was like, I'm home. So it's what I try to instill in my posts and what I share and the information that I put out, because I remember when I first joined this community, I was like, wow, there's so much to learn and there's so much to take in. So I try to do that for other people who are looking for the same thing.
There you have it. I mean, how could you not smile while watching that? You guys are incredible. We're gonna dive right into the good stuff. I can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. This is officially the start of the Be a Friend Friday reunion, and I think one of the biggest things that we want to talk about is our experience with friendship. So, maybe we could just start off by talking about how a particular friend in your life has impacted you on a personal level, or more specifically in your diabetes journey. So Sydney, would you like to kick us off?
Yes, thank you. So I think one of the people that's been the most impactful in my journey is somebody that I spend literally every waking and sleeping moment of the day with, and that's my husband. We run a nonprofit together. We live in a van together. We travel the country together. And when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really know what was going on. I was diagnosed with type 2 pretty young for like the spectrum of how early people are diagnosed. And it was kind of a shock. And his support, like from the get-go, like every dietary change I made, he was in for it. And he took one for the team and like ate all the ice cream and all the bad food that was in the house, like right when I was diagnosed. So we started hiking more, we started backpacking. Like he has just been an absolutely instrumental piece in this puzzle for me. And because of his support this year, we've started an initiative called Take a Hike Diabetes, where we're hiking around the United States for diabetes awareness. And he's been right by my side every step of the way. And a couple weeks ago, we finished hiking across the state of Michigan. And over the course of those 16 days, it was just so much fun to be with him and doing this for a disease that I live with every day. It's well managed now, but it's still something that is in my background all the time. So the person that I'm just incredibly grateful for is my husband, Barry.
Absolutely love that. I think if anything, for all of us single people out there, that's goals right here. Like definitely, I think we all want a friend in a husband, right? So that's amazing, and that makes me super happy. Patricia also has a really great love story, but Patricia, if you have a story about friendship, please, we'd love to hear it.
Wow, because my best friend and supporter is also my husband. So I don't know if you want to go through the two husband thing again. However, he was a friend of mine. I was diagnosed many years ago, but he was a friend. I met him when he came into where I worked and owned a Pilates studio. And he was just a friend. And then we started dating, and he was with me when I had severe rounds of diabetic retinopathy. He was at my bedside. He was only my friend. He was only just dating me. And there's other stories I've told about this, but just he was there for me. I had a stroke while under anesthesia. And when I woke up out of a coma, he was there for me. And he helped me to rehabilitate. He drugged me to Disney to help make me walk. because I couldn't walk on the left side. So he took me there. He took me to ballroom dance, where my dance teacher would drag me around the floor. He encouraged me to walk. He was a marathon runner, a triathlete. So he keeps me in my fitness mode. He too, I don't think I've said this before, he is pre-diabetic. So he has family history of diabetes, and he has really learned a lot about both type 1 and type 2, and he keeps me in my zone. And it's like you, I couldn't have a better partner that was first my friend and always my best friend. So I'm going to share that too.
So beautiful. So beautiful. Natalie, Aubrey, do you guys have anything?
I'll go. I don't have a husband and I'm still single, but what I've got for you is something a little different. I was always very closed off about living with diabetes, especially as a teenager and in college. I personally was dealing with processing it myself, and I also just didn't want to tell other people. And so I started talking about it more often a few years ago, and I actually had to break the news to friends that I didn't tell for, maybe I knew them for 10 years. And so it wasn't one person in particular, but it was a small steps that a group of friends took to, one, just listen to me and understand me, and really recognize when I'm explaining what's going on with me, take the initiative to say, okay, she's saying her blood sugar is low. These are the ways I can support her. Oh, it's high. These are the ways I can support her. And just being open and accepting, which is something that I don't know why it took me so long to understand, but really appreciate that part of friendship is really understanding the full person and not just the happy, shiny parts that are fun to go out with.
Yeah, that's a huge one. I think I don't know who said it, but it was acceptance, right? Just accepting everybody as they are, low moments, high moments. It's one of the most important parts of friendship. So yeah, thank you, Natalie. Aubrey, do you have a friend in your life that has made an impact on you?
My mother.
Oh, your mother?
Mm-hmm. She always finds classes learn more about diabetes and having some fun stuff in the diabetes camps.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Aubrey. I think a mother-daughter bond is super, super special. So we're really happy that you have that. Steve, Sarah, do you guys have any stories?
Well, I mean, I would say that, because I'm not a person with diabetes, but because of COVID, for sure, I've definitely appreciated friends more than ever. I would say my wife is probably my best friend because we spent so much time together in those early days and still now. And, things can get very isolating, had gotten very isolating, and, you're just staring at each other 24/7 sometimes. And, but we started to kind of grow together in a different way. We became closer just because of this. And I think that's a huge thing. And it's changed everybody's relationships, I think, in some ways, because you're sort of challenged more with things that you weren't before. So I really appreciate that. And she's been a great friend to have.
And for me, I have an aunt, and she actually lives in England. That's where most of my family lives. And I really appreciate how technology has advanced, because now, instead of just being these phone calls once a week that would last 2 hours to try to catch your family up, we get to actually see each other and have social media posts and keep up. And my Aunt Tanya has just really been there for me. And when my husband Jonathan was in the hospital with COVID, she was the one I was talking to and getting me through it.
That's awesome. I think what I'm hearing right now is a common theme. I think if I could take away any three keywords from all of your answers, it would be acceptance, accountability, and support. I think those three things, especially from what we've all been through during COVID, have been at the top of the pyramid for all of us, right? We just want to feel like when we're going through tough times, we feel accepted. We want to feel supported when we're trying to grow, and we want to be held accountable when, you know, we're going through different challenges, we're trying to build different habits. So that was awesome. You guys are awesome. So we're going to dive into the next question. This is a fun one. So Be a Friend Friday has been going on for, I believe, a year now, which is crazy. And it's become such a huge favorite on social media. So I'm curious to know if any of you have become Dia buddies or have made friends with other Be a Friend Friday guests as a result of the show.
Both Natalie and I have become Dia buddies. We did this whole last year, and we've been following each other, and I love her inspirational stories. She's always got something very inspirational, and she has a lot of wonderful advice, you know, about diabetic retinopathy and the journey she's been going through that I have gone through as well. And I just love watching your post every day.
It's so amazing. It's so interesting because there's the diabetes world and community, and then Patricia and I have both gone through a lot of eye complications and challenges, and the same idea, like I went out to search for people who had the same experiences, and it was so hard to find that. And so through the American Diabetes Association, really Patricia and I found each other, and being able to understand those things that you don't really think about with your eyes and things you're going through. And so I'm so grateful for that, because if you're on your own with it, it can be really challenging just to even understand that someone else has had the same issues, and this in a daily life, right? So other people, while they can be so amazing and so supportive, it's so hard sometimes to explain to them, oh, I can't see 100% today, or my blood sugar is off today, or this is something that I want to do. Can I actually do it living with all these challenges? So I'm so grateful for you, Patricia, for showing that as well. And your workouts are amazing. I'm not quite there yet, but really being able to show like a full body life and still really being able to go out and enjoy things is something both Patricia and I are really supportive of each other.
Yes. And, you know, I've started following other people, Randall, who was on the video earlier. And I really feel that as someone had said, it's so wonderful in a sense, although diabetes is awful to hear, there are people out there that have the same problems, the same issues. And it makes me feel like I'm supported in a very interesting way.
Yeah, completely. Sydney, Aubrey, and of course, Sarah and Steve, if you have any thoughts, feel free to chime in. But, you know, maybe you didn't make a connection through Be a Friend Friday, but perhaps Be a Friend Friday inspired you to go out and make friends. Do you have, you know, is that how you felt at all? Has it been an inspiring factor maybe in your personal life?
I think for me, it has been for sure. Through what we're doing with our Take a Hike Diabetes campaign, we're really trying to make outdoor recreation more accessible for people with diabetes. And I live with type 2, so it's a different set of complications and considerations. But two of the people that I've met that have just been absolutely transformative for my understanding of type 1 diabetes and how that impacts outdoor recreation is a gentleman named Eric Dowds, who is the founder of Diabadass, which is an incredible community for people living with diabetes. There's a bunch of different like fitness videos and all kinds of cool stuff like that. And Mike Joyce, who is on Instagram, he's at sweet.hiking, and he lives with type 1 diabetes, and he is currently hiking the Continental Divide Trail, which goes all the way from Mexico up to Canada. And he is just an inspiration, and the pictures he's posting are incredible. He's an advocate for the inhalable insulin as a function of doing these longer distance backpacking trips. And I think what we're doing with the making outdoor recreation more accessible, like showing people that you can find outdoor experiences in the cities and towns where you work, live, and play, like hiking across Michigan on these paved, accessible trails. I think that's really cool for getting folks who aren't already active out in their community and active. And Mike kind of serves as like our aspirational ambassador, where he didn't just wake up and roll out of bed and decide to hike, 3,100 miles across the country. There was a lot of consideration and a lot of practice that he had to go do to be able to go do that. So it's really neat to see both sides of the story and just learn more about the different considerations that people with all different kinds of diabetes have when it comes to athletic pursuits and activities out in the wilderness.
Totally. And like, it just really goes to show like the power of storytelling. Like if honestly, think about it. If any of you guys hadn't gone live maybe, or put yourself out there, even if it wasn't with the ADA, on your own, who knows where you would, if you would have ever met Eric, and
Right.
like, you just don't know. And so just taking that tiny little leap of just sharing your story, even if you think that 2 people are watching, those 2 people could lead you to your next friend who might create that huge life change for you. So thank you for sharing that, Sydney. That's really awesome. Aubrey, have you made any new friends recently?
I made a friend in diabetes camp, and her name's Nora.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Travel? When we go camping?
When we go camping and we're traveling around the world, sometimes I find other people.
You say hi to them when you find them? Yes, you do.
I'd love to be your friend, Aubrey.
Aubrey's the coolest gal in school. We just all know it, don't we? Steve, Sarah, do you guys have any stories?
Well, I mean, I would say that it definitely made me appreciate when it became safer to go out a little more masked up, etc. I would force myself to go to these open mic, many of them outdoor open mic events. And being a musician on the weekends, it was kind of nice to go to these open mics, which I hadn't gone to in many years because I was actually playing regular gigs at clubs. But I would go to these open mics where I would meet a lot of sort of amateur folks, or folks just wanting to play 1 or 2 songs and then sit down. Anyway, I met a lot of other musicians and people. Again, once it became safe to do that, I was able to go out and do that. And what I found was a lot of people had health stories, health challenges, whether it be diabetes, I heard, or COVID stories, or what have you. And just talking about it to them, or them talking about it to me, and vice versa, really plugged a hole for me. So I think that was a great experience. You had to do it carefully because, some of them were semi-indoor, outdoor, but you had to be masked up and things. But yeah, that would be my take on it for sure.
And I really enjoyed someone in particular, Randall, and he actually made a comment on Facebook Live and could possibly join us because he's in our Zoom call. I did promote him to a panelist. And the reason why I found it so inspiring to listen to Randall is because he has to walk 2 worlds. He has diabetes himself, and he has a daughter with diabetes. And I feel the same way. My husband recently got type 2, but it's my father, my cousin, and my uncle all have type 1 diabetes. And so I kind of walk this kind of 2 worlds, with both type 1 and type 2 being quite different. And then also your husband versus, growing up with your family, and just the learning curve that I still had from that.
Yeah, totally. I see Randall is here. We could probably let him in, promote him to panelist, but while he joins us, I actually met one of my best friends through Be a Friend Friday a year ago. So she was one of our very first guests. I had been following her through the ADA social media pages when I first started at the ADA, and I was just like, it just seems like she's such a cool person. And I was like, I have to interview her. So we went live together. She was actually the girl at the end of the intro video, who I told her, my people, that's her. And we found out that we were in the same birthday month, that we were of similar cultural backgrounds, that we were the same age. And now I actually just texted her this morning, wishing her a happy Friendship Day. And unfortunately she's in a different state, but like, sometimes we think about the same exact thing and we text each other and we're like, oh my God, are you reading my mind? Like, what's happening? So if it wasn't for Be a Friend Friday, and she lives with diabetes, I don't. My dad has type 2. So I can relate to her on that level, but still, like, it's something that I'm constantly learning. She has a great Instagram page and I'm always asking her questions, and she's always more than open to enlightening me. But it's just, if it wasn't for Be a Friend Friday, I wouldn't have met her, and now I have an excuse to go to San Diego. So that's always...
When you do, we can go hiking.
Yes, I'm taking you up on that. Oh goodness. So Randall, where is Randall? There he is. Randall, can you hear us? Okay, I think it's loading a little bit, but I mean, these stories are really, really incredible. We're going to give Randall a few minutes just to kind of let everything load. But I'm curious to know, when you guys first heard about Be a Friend Friday, what did you think it was before you actually did it? What did you think it was? And then after you did it, how did you feel? Anyone can chime in. Feel free.
Well, I was totally honored and taken aback being able to share my story. I did discover I wasn't good at the moment of learning how to put the camera. So it's taught me a lot about learning to do things online. But it did give me the opportunity to connect with a whole bunch of people in the process, and again, become friends with so many diabetics. I had always been scared to reach out there and talk about it. People that knew me knew it, but I was scared to reach out there for help and advice and sharing. And that last year just gave me that opportunity to be able to say, I have diabetes, I've had these problems, and the world reached out to embrace. And I even in my profession, which is Pilates exercise, I had so many people reach out that they are diabetic, their parents, their brothers, their sisters, their children. And it's been overwhelming to hear that so many people do not share their stories and yet will embrace you and care for you.
100%. Thank you, Patricia. I mean, you're an inspiration to me. We already know that. I am obsessed with you, so I'm just going to say that. But anybody else, feel free to chime in.
Well, I think for me, it was like, I knew what the opportunity was. I'm incredibly comfortable in front of a camera, so there wasn't a lot of like anxiety about that. At that point, I had been sharing my story pretty openly, but I think the most inspiring thing that came out of it, because the first one was, we're celebrating like a year of doing these Be a Friend Friday. And I think this opportunity really informed our desire to bring the community together in the outdoors specifically, because there isn't a lot of conversation, or if there was, I wasn't finding it. So to be able to contribute to an existing conversation about how we can recreate, especially for folks living with type 1. I mean, the work that Eric is doing in his advocacy for people with type 1 diabetes, whether it's cycling or hiking or these kind of remote backcountry adventures where you really do have to consider more, like you're not close to a hospital, and hearing the stories from people like Chris Maynard, who's the founder of Glucose Survival. And if you aren't familiar, it's like a little necklace that has 15 grams of quick acting glucose in it that you can wear. So if you're out in the backcountry, you can just like pop off the necklace, take the glucose. Hearing his story about wanting to be an Air Force pilot and then being a firefighter and losing his job temporarily because he had a low blood sugar episode on the job. It just made me realize, one, how important it is to share these stories so we know we're not alone. But just the sharing of information, I think that there's a lot of stigma around this disease. Well, I know there's a lot of stigma around this disease. And if nothing else, just communicating between ourselves really kind of brings what feels really scary into something a little bit smaller and makes it come home a little bit. But really, like, just seeing what's possible and finding so much inspiration in other people's stories, and as a result of what we're doing, being connected with people that are already doing this stuff. Like, we're not the first people to go outside with diabetes. I don't think we're trying to say that, but it is really cool to meet other people that are interested. And just hearing from Mike, like, to your point, he was like, you know, I didn't wake up and roll out of bed and decide to hike all the way across the country. And he has people with type 1 that are like, oh, I want to go hike the Appalachian Trail in 2 weeks. What do I need to do? And he's like, well, what you need to do is like pump the brakes and start here. And like, here's what I did. And kind of creating a path for folks that might not have the resources or the understanding, just because like this isn't an everyday thing that the non-diabetic community thinks about. And we do have some extra precautions to take for our safety and for the safety of the people around us on the trail.
Yeah, I mean, it really is just all about communicating and like connecting with one another. I mean, what are we if not? I mean, what's that quote? It says something about if you want to accomplish something quickly, do it on your own. But if you want to go far, do it together. Something.
Yeah, go fast, do it alone. Go far, do it together. I think I heard that. Where does that come from? Like, that recently came up in. Is it because I'm watching All American? I think it's something about, I think that's what it is. It's a great show. Great quotes.
My dad is watching it right now. He's hooked. It's like so bad. We don't see him anymore. But it's true. It's so true. And like, you know, I'm going to defer to Aubrey on this. Aubrey, I mean, you know, how does it feel as a young person living with diabetes to be surrounded with friends who you feel understand you? Do you feel happy, supported? What do you feel?
Wow. I feel happy and supported.
Aubrey, do you feel like you are a good friend to your friends the same way that they are good friends to you? Yeah. Well, what's your favorite thing about your friends?
We both have diabetes.
So you feel like you have something connected that connects you both together, right? So do you feel it's easy for you to talk to them about how you feel? And do you feel like they understand you?
Yeah.
Do you think that's important, Aubrey?
Mm-hmm.
You heard it here first, folks. I mean, this is golden friendship advice right here from our superstar, Aubrey. Thank you, Aubrey. So we're going to move on to the next question. This is a super fun one. Again, feel free to jump in whenever. I don't want to dominate the conversation, so feel free. But if there was anybody, dead or alive, that you would want to be friends with, or that you would want to be part of our Be a Friend Friday series, who would that person be and why?
This is a new person I discovered, but Charlotte Drury, who is a trampoline gymnast and also learned she lives with type 1 diabetes while training, which is remarkable, is someone who sounds like so cool and so interesting, and I'd be fascinated to learn more about her story.
I think you should probably get on the phone with Tom Hanks's people and just let him Fred Rogers us or Forrest Gump us or just Tom Hanks us into like diabetic community love time, because I feel like there's, especially, and I say this, one, because I love Tom Hanks, but two, I think when he was one of the first celebrities being named as somebody who had contracted COVID, and one of the first celebrities with COVID who also lives with diabetes, I would be really interested to hear his perspective about the disease and about the virus and just like his lived experience with that last year.
It'd be nice to hear from Bret Michaels, the musician. I I've worked for ADA for a long time, and I remember one time he actually posed on the cover of Forecast magazine. This was like at least 20 years ago. But I'd like to know more about how he's managing it as he gets older, because I know he's probably in his late 50s now. And I'm wondering like how he does that on tour and things like that, just the day-to-day challenges he has as a type 1. For those of you that don't know him, he plays in the 80s band Poison, which was a big kind of hair band. But anyway, he was a pretty respectable musician, and his story was pretty interesting. Still is, I'm sure. But yeah, I'd love to hear from him too.
That's awesome. Speaking of hearing from people, we have a surprise guest with us, Tracy.
Everybody, what's up, everybody? First of all, let me say happy International Day of Friendship. I was so excited to hear that we were bringing together some of our friends and our buddies today. I'm sorry, I'm late. I'm popping in and popping out. I'm backed up with meetings, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity. First of all, to say hello, but second of all, just tell you guys how important friendship has been to me in this journey. And I've met many of you, and just how inspired I am about your journeys. One of the things that has been so critical to me with my 17-year journey with diabetes is what I call my tribe. And first and foremost, anybody that I meet that is living with diabetes instantly becomes a part of my tribe. And the tribe for me, just means that I know that I have a group of people who can completely relate to what I'm dealing with. I am a positive person. I am always, the glass is half full. But the fact of the matter is, we know, even in our thriving with diabetes, which all of you are doing, which I am doing, sometimes it's still not easy. And you just want to talk to somebody about that. And that is, to me, one of the greatest gifts I have been given. When I was first diagnosed with diabetes, I don't know. I was scared. I didn't know a lot. Honestly, I was probably in a bit of denial. And then I went through this crazy time period where I didn't talk about it because I didn't want anybody to know. I mean, all kinds of emotions. And now I live my life unapologetically, out loud, and I'm grateful for the friends, and I'm thankful for the friends. And I couldn't be where I am in my thriving with diabetes without the people. And so, my family actually doesn't live with diabetes. So my husband and daughter, my, immediate relatives, my mother, my brother, sister, none of them. And so they're like, we're not part of the tribe. I'm like, of course you're part of the tribe. Of course you're a part of the tribe. So I have my tribe of people who are actually living with diabetes, but then I actually have a robust network of family and friends who are not living with diabetes. But what I love about that tribe is that they really try to walk in my shoes. I've had, my family, my daughters come with me to diabetes conferences. She participates in our diabetes camp, even though she does not have diabetes, because she wants to understand what it is that mommy is really dealing with. I put on a CGM on my mom just so that she could understand what she eats and what impact, right? Like, so again, I just think, this is a blessing. People, again, this is my glass is half full. This has been a blessing for me, because I've been had the opportunity to meet people that I don't think I would have ordinarily met. And you guys are amazing. And I count it a blessing that our paths have intersected. So thank you for that. And I say, Dana and Sarah, thank you for bringing us all together. And you guys keep living your best lives, and let's keep showing the world that diabetes doesn't need to stop us from anything. We rule the world. Awesome. All right, y'all. See you.
Bye.
Thank you, Tracy. Mic drop. That was awesome.
Well, I think she makes a great point though. Like she said that, she has something in common with people that have diabetes. And if we think about it from a statistics perspective, like something that I share with our community is if we say, and I think the latest statistics that I remember from the ADA was like somebody's diagnosed every 23 seconds in America. If that's true, then every 23 seconds, there is somebody else that I have something in common with. And when I think about how many people live with diabetes, whatever type it is, pre-diabetes, type 1, type 2, et cetera, there are millions of us. And the more that we can like unite on that front, and to Tracy's point, like show how we can thrive with this, it's weird to say out loud. And I don't know that I've ever really thought of it in this way until like right now, because this is how my brain works. We all have so much more in common than we are different. And I think diabetes, for how widespread it is, especially in America, like it's one of the things that I think could probably bridge a lot of gaps and close a lot of divisions, because we do have something in common with like 122 million other people that live here. And that's inspiring and also tragically sad, because we should not have to live with this disease,
It's also to your point that the stigma is so dangerous, right? And that's why a lot of people don't want to talk about it and don't want to share. And so the more that, and I wasn't always comfortable, and it's interesting that so many of us originally weren't so comfortable. So it's so amazing to see a young person already be comfortable talking about it. So the more that we're able to speak out and show like, you can hike and do all these amazing things. And I love to travel around the world and do all these things. And everyone can do all the things that they love and be passionate about, and still talk about the fact that not every moment's perfect, because we're managing something that can be so complicated. And it takes practice, like Patricia was saying, it takes practice, right, to get up here and say things and do things. And so I get more inspired the more that I hear everyone else talking about it, but thinks about the things that individually we all can do to really be connected. And okay, wow, this is even more amazing. You're right, my brain works the same way, that I'm like, it's hitting me as I'm saying it. But the more we talk back against these stigmas, and the more that we show that we can live, and we didn't cause this to ourselves. This is just part of who we are. It's not the whole package. And so, all right, thanks everyone for being my friend is really the conclusion here, but thank you. Everyone.
And thanks for coming to our TED Talks.
I love it. Patricia, go ahead.
I think we're all diabetes warriors, and some people object to that, but I love the fact that I'm now seeing younger diabetics flaunt their meters, flaunt their, everything. They've got the patches, and it's like, wow, I wouldn't have done that while I was earlier. I have been very brazen about, I do the pen, insulin pen. So I just inject it everywhere, and I no longer care, where I used to huddle in a bathroom and try and figure that out. But I feel like we're all warriors, and it's so wonderful to see everybody from all over the world, that can inspire us. And it's the Olympics now, when there's Olympians, as mentioned, that to just the very basic person that does not have any understanding of diabetes, and they're watching us and they're connecting with us. And that was a good talk on, I believe it was Tuesday, the Q&A. And I think the American Diabetes Association puts out some great information. And by us constantly being out there and talking about it, brings awareness to all the other things that you offer. That was such a great series on Tuesday, the Ask the Experts. But I'm just celebrating all of us friendship and diabetes warriors.
Thank you, Patricia. Aubrey, what's going on, girl? What you got to say?
Whenever I meet people that have type 1 or type 2, I show them my stuff so they know I'm like them and they're like me.
That's really brave, Aubrey. That's really, really brave. Yeah, high five. Honestly, I'm gonna give you a high five too. Aubrey, can I get a high five through the screen? Yeah. You're awesome. Honestly, Aubrey, let me tell you something. And I think everybody on screen can agree with this, is that you showing up right now and just saying that out loud in front of a bunch of people that are watching, you have no idea how many young people your age you're inspiring just by saying that, just by showing the world that you're not ashamed, right? And that you just say, I'm Aubrey and I have diabetes and I'm awesome, right? So you know what? Do you want to say that out loud, Aubrey? I want to hear you say, I'm awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Aubrey, you're an inspiration for sure. And I definitely would have been your best friend when I was your age. We're going to move on to the last question, which makes me so sad because I'm having the best time with all of you. But we often focus on how we want other people to be friends to us, right? Like what the criteria is for friends that we want in our lives. But sometimes we neglect how amazing we are as friends to everybody in our lives as well, what we do for other people. And I think that's something that we definitely should celebrate. So I would love to hear maybe like 2 to 3 words that would describe how you are as a friend to your friends. And then feel free to use this as an opportunity to say hello and tell your friends that are watching that you love them. I can start. Okay, I can start. I think I'm very considerate, empathetic, and I feel like this falls under considerate, but a great listener. I definitely look for a great listener in people that are in my life. So I try to be a great listener to other people. And I'll use this as an opportunity to say hello to my dad, who has type 2, who's probably watching outside right now on his phone, and to one of my best friends, Basma, who I met through Be a Friend Friday. She'll probably see this later because she's a nurse, so she's doing the good deed right now. But whoever else would like to hop in, please feel free. Patricia, go ahead.
I like to feel I too am very supportive and empathetic. I think that's the one tribute that I have best is empathy. And I hope a lot of my friends are going to either see this or hear this because I have an awesome amount of friends. Sonia Island, you would have been my next when I talked about supportive friends other than my husband. And Fran Hoyt and Kevin Kerbos and Melanie, and I can't tell you, Jill and Barbara, and second Barbara, there are 2 Barbaras. And I have an amazing support friendship community. I can't even recognize you all. I hope you all know. And I give a big Patricia hug. They know what a big Patricia hug is. It's like mammoth. So I thank you. All of you have helped and supported me in my diabetes in their own way. And of course, my loving husband, Bob, he has to be top of the list.
I think as a friend, I'm a person that serves as a mirror for people, and I help you kind of reframe the things. Like, we all have some pretty horrible stories that we tell ourselves, and I am the first person to be like, hey, we don't talk about my friend like that. So I think that's kind of what I bring to friendships and to the programs I facilitate. But for people that I want to shout out, obviously my husband, Barry, but some of my dia buddies, Mike, Eric, Keisha, Tiara from Beyond Type 2, Mila from Hangry Woman. Like, there are so many incredible people that are really just doing the most to make it known that they have diabetes. And to Tracy's point, thriving, like, we need to be saying that word over and over and over again. So those are some people that have really inspired me to live a little bit more out loud with diabetes. And I just really appreciate how they show up in the world and the way that they live with this disease as well.
Love it, love it, love it. Aubrey, I'm gonna ask you, what is something that you know you do that makes you a good friend?
I'm kind and nice to them.
What was that, Aubrey? I'm sorry.
You should talk loud and clear. Again.
I'm kind and nice to them.
Yes, we love kindness and we need more of that in this world. That's awesome, Aubrey. Is there a friend of yours that you want to say hello to on the screen if in case they watch this?
Hi, Nora.
Oh, hi, Nora. That's awesome. Natalie, what about you?
As a friend, I would like to think I am thoughtful, I'm a good listener, and I'm always coming up with fun ideas and plans because part of friendship is also really just being out there and be able to enjoy yourself. And I would like to give a shout out to my mom, who has been with me since the beginning. She gave me my injections when I was 6 years old and continues to be there to this day. So thank you, Mom. I love you.
That's awesome. Steve, Sarah?
Yeah, sure. So I'm comfortable talking to people a lot. I'm kind of an extroverted person. And when I go out and talk to people, some of my friends, et cetera, at some of these events, these recent music events, I found that a lot of those people have been lonely and some of them live alone. So what I find is because I like to talk to them, they feel comfortable sharing things with me. And then I help kind of strategize with them to try to get them through the tough times. So I'll suggest certain things, exercise routines, meditations, music, things like that. And I think they appreciate that. And they appreciate that I'll listen to them as much as I'll talk. Because I do like to talk, but I like to, when you talk to somebody and you're non-threatening or non-judgmental, you're gonna get the reciprocal. The person's gonna trust you and say things to you, confide in you, and I always like giving tips as often as I can for folks.
And I couldn't say it better than those who came before me. Empathetic, supportive, and non-judgmental is what I always try to be, and again, accountable too. We said that in the very beginning. And I would give a shout out to my aunt in England.
That's awesome. You guys, I'm so sad that this is coming to an end, but I do know for a fact that this is not the last time that we all come together. We have Friend Friday has been a dream. It's been a blessing. Friendship is one of the key pillars of life. And if there's anything that we can walk away from knowing today, it's that you just never know what friends you're going to make tomorrow. And just believing that there's so many people out there that are waiting to love you and that you're going to be able to love them right back. So to close us out on this fine Friday, we have Steve, a member of the ADA communications team, who is also a superstar, and we're all completely shocked that he's not famous yet, but maybe he will be after this. So Steve, take it away.
I'm gonna do a song called "You Got a Friend in Me." You guys probably know this because it's famous. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, just remember what your old pal said. Well, you got a friend in me. Yes, you got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. You got troubles, I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we see it through. Well, you got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe. But none of them will ever love you the way that I do. Just me and you, boy. And as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. Where you got a friend in me. Yes, you got a friend in me. One more time. Where you got a friend in me.
That was awesome. Thank you, Steve.
Welcome.
Thank you to all of our friends here, Sydney, Aubrey, Natalie, Patricia, Sarah, Randall. I'm so sad that you weren't able to speak today. And I'm really sad that we weren't able to have all of our past Be a Friend Friday guests today. But again, this will not be the last. For everybody that's watching, if you have a story to tell, if you have been on this journey, whether you were newly diagnosed or you were diagnosed years ago, or whatever the case may be, we want to hear from you. Your story matters. If there's anything that you can take away from this, from these inspiring words that everybody on screen has said today, it's that you matter and you have no idea who you might inspire today, tomorrow, 5 minutes from now. So we dropped a link in the comment section below in case you'd like to share your story, and have a wonderful weekend. Please go out there, be kind to each other and love each other, and have a great National Friendship Day. Thank you all.
Bye.
Bye.